Hey, what's up, guys? This is Edo Speaks back again with another video, and I wanted to talk about the recent MVP award that just got announced. And so, it's breaking news that Nikola Jokic has won his second MVP back to back, and I want to congratulate Nikola Jokic in winning back-to-back MVP for the 2022 season. And I seen a lot of hate on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc., saying Joel Embiid got robbed. And I just want to say, stop it. Like, just stop. There was no robbery. There was no biasness. There was no nothing. In my personal opinion, Nikola Jokic had the most valuable season on his team. And I don't want to take nothing away from Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Devin Booker, etc. Those guys had great campaign seasons, and if Giannis or Joel Embiid would have won MVP, I wouldn't get mad at that either. You can make a case that they could have won MVP, especially Joel Embiid, because he was playing great throughout the season, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's having the regular great season that he usually have for the past 5 years. So that's nothing new. But in terms of most valuable player for their team, that's Nikola Jokic. When it came to him overall as a player and the staggering numbers that he was dropping, he's the most valuable player, and he deserved that award hands down. The stats that he was dropping, he won MVP last year, and he's playing a tick higher than what he was playing. He averaged 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. That's great numbers. That's higher than what he was averaging last year. Not to mention that two of his key players, were hurt. Now, I see a whole bunch of people saying, oh, he got knocked off in the first round by the Golden State Warriors, etc. But they don't want to take it the fact that his team was injured. But then there's other people that's saying that even if those two guys, Jamal Murray and MPJ, were in, they still would have lost. You could make a case for that. I can't even argue that. They probably still would have lost. Even if those two guys were in, I'll still have the Warriors probably in 6-7 game series, because that'll probably be a tough outing. But nonetheless, the MVP award is a regular season. And from start to finish, Nikola Jokic had the best numbers, the best statistical numbers. He was the most impactful. He elevated his team to win all those games. Now, granted, he wasn't in a high seeding, but again, he was literally playing by himself out there. And then you had to go up against the juggernaut Warriors and try to beat them. That's a tall ask, even for an MVP like him. So again, I don't want to hear about a robbery. It's not a robbery. Nikola Jokic had better numbers. He was more impactful. Now, if you want to argue on the defensive end of the floor, yes, you got me there. Joel Embiid was more impactful than Nikola Jokic on the defensive side of the floor. And on top of that, he was averaging more points. I think Joel Embiid probably should win the scoring title as regards to that. But when it comes to the MVP race, it was Nikola Jokic hands down, because he was leading the way throughout the whole season. There, you can make certain cases that Joel Embiid was leading the race too, and then there was other cases where Giannis was leading the race. But in terms of consistency throughout the season, Nikola Jokic was the most valuable player for his team, despite the injuries. Because if you take out James Harden or another key piece for that Sixers team, then the team's still gonna be good. They might struggle a little bit. Now, I also gonna hear people say that, oh, Ben Simmons didn't play. You're right, but still, when you lose two of your best players instead of one, that's hamper a lot of pressure on Nikola Jokic to perform better, as regards to Joel Embiid, where he just had one star that was out. And then on top of that, same thing for Giannis. If you take out Drew Holiday and you take out Chris Middleton, that team's not the same no more. Yeah, they're still gonna win some games, but I don't see Giannis winning MVP because they're gonna hone on him. They're gonna put a wall through him, and they're gonna force him to shoot outside jumpers. They're gonna make it real difficult for him to perform. So again, I don't want to take nothing away from those guys. Those guys are great competitors, great players. It could have possibly gone to any three of those guys, and I wouldn't be mad. But in my personal opinion, the best choice was made in giving it to the Joker because he deserved it. He was playing better. He has staggering numbers as a center, averaging 8 assists, and is arguably is you could argue that he's the best passing center of all time. When it's all said and done, I already stake that claim now because it's obvious. But when it's all said and done, he's gonna be the best passing center of all time because I've never seen a center of his stature passing the ball on the same level as a point guard. He's averaging point guard numbers in assists, and then the rebounds that he's having is staggering, averaging 14, and then you total that with the 27 points that he averaging. That's ridiculous. So again, he deserves that award. I don't want to hear nothing about a robbery. I don't want to hear nothing about that because if it was the same other way around and Joel Embiid had won the award or Giannis had won the award, there has been other people saying that it was a robbery, should have went to the Joker. But nonetheless, it's other people's opinion, and I want to hear you guys' opinion as well. Do you think Nikola Jokic deserved the award? Do you think he didn't deserve it? Who you felt should have deserved the MVP? Do you think it was Giannis, Embiid, maybe Devin Booker? I don't see how you could make a case for them, but there were people that was advocating for him to win MVP. You'll lose that case, but nonetheless, there were people that was advocating for him in the media. But again, Joker won back-to-back MVPs. I don't want to hear nothing about him losing first round. He had to go up against the Warriors, undermanned, and it would have been the same thing if it was Joel Embiid or Giannis going up against that Warriors team. I don't care what you tell me, but if you feel like you can make a case for that, let me know in the comment section down below. This is Ito Speaks out.